questions as we're doing this space. Feel free to tag us in the question if you don't think we're seeing it. But we'll try to be checking in there over the next few minutes. Okay. Nice. Thank you for that, Didi. So starting from question one. Question one is, so the teaser edition still gives you a chance to get a random alpha edition. If you don't get an airdrop of a random alpha, is there a special mint to be able to buy one prior to the actual public sale? Okay, so let's start with one. The teaser edition gives you a chance to get a random alpha. Yes, exactly. So how is it random? Well, there's some parts of it that aren't random. What's not random is that it is a red alpha. So you are guaranteed to be getting the more premium version of the two NFTs. So that is a reward for all the teaser edition holders. What is random will be pretty much the Zanis species and some other elements of the NFT that we'll share probably pretty soon. So these NFTs, they don't have a rarity. So they don't have a rarity like the teaser editions did in the design, at least as of right now. But we are still, the design, nothing is finalized yet. And they don't have a tribe. So that's something for us all to know. We don't want people to say, oh, I really love the monkey, and the monkey art is the coolest thing to me, but unfortunately it's linked up to the wrong tribe. So we don't have tribe implementation set up right now. The design is not totally final yet, though, so don't take that to be the gospel on what the actual end NFT might have. But that's as we have it right now. All right, number two. Didi, do you want to take this one?
Yeah. So someone asked, so far we can see three Zanis in sneak peeks. The bear, the tiger, and the rhino. So far, what we have shared on Twitter is the tiger and the monkey. So he is asking, can the same animal, for example, the tiger, be in different tribes, or do they represent a different tribe? I think what he's asking for is, can a tiger be in Luna, Van, and Nor at the same time? That question, that answer would be a yes. So far, these characters will be called Generation 1. These characters are not bound to tribe, and every one of them can either be in Luna, Nor, or Van. And then
Great.
somebody else asked, how do we get on Whitelist? So as of right now, we don't have Whitelist plans. We do have pre-sale, but that information is going to be private for our Discord members.
Yeah, so keep your eyes out in Discord for pre-sale information over the next week or so. We think you guys are going to like that. Number four, are the humans eventually going to make a comeback? I think Didi has something in mind. Didi and I have talked about a few ideas for the humans in the world of Zulana. They still exist on Earth, or at least there's a chance that they do. The whole world is not barren. It's just this Zulana Valley that the animals have taken over. So, there's a possibility for humans to be involved in the future. But exactly what that might look like and exactly how, I think we're not making any promises quite yet. Didi, do you want to comment on that at all?
I'm not sure if I should be spoiling the second part of the story right off the bat, so I'm not going to make any comment on that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Someone else asks, I have the Fire Obsidian NFT on a ledger. Does the airdrop work with ledger? It's interesting. This is such a common question for airdrops. But what people don't know is that, having your NFT on a ledger, all it does is add a barrier between sending tokens from that wallet, because you have to confirm using the hardware wallet interface. There's nothing stopping anyone from sending tokens to that wallet. Anyone who knows how blockchain works knows that it's all we say decentralized, but it is a database hosted um, it's not a bunch of individual separate databases. So your blockchain, your address is getting updated in every version of the chain. And so anyone has access to send your ledger address anything. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about getting airdrops on Ledger. If you win the raffle, or if you're holding an alpha on your ledger, you will totally freely receive those airdrops like you would in a wallet that you might have hooked up to Phantom or something like that. Um, okay. I don't want to give you all the hard questions, DD. Do you want to take this one or the next one?
Uh, totally open. Up to you. I can take
Okay.
this one.
Okay.
Uh, so somebody asked, has the team thought about what Zulana's revenue sources will be after the game initially has launched or goes public? So yes, we do think of these questions. We are working on them. We do have an answer for it, and right now the answer is so the primary sales of Zulana, for example, seasonal content NFTs, for example, let's say Halloween skins, etc., etc. Uh, but the primary driver of revenue long term for a project is going to be from secondary sales. So Zulana will be taking a cut of the fee from all secondary transactions of the NFTs, as well as minimal in-app purchases, so that we can build a strong relationship with the App Store developers, as well as to appeal to mainstream users that might get on board with us.
hmm Um, yeah, we've all seen that hosting secondary marketplaces for NFT sales is a way to generate huge amounts of revenue, and that's likely something we're going to do. We can't enforce, or nor would we want to, actually, that people would just be selling NFTs on our marketplace, but we definitely would be setting up some infrastructure to make sure that people could trade in-game assets in a way that makes sense for them, and that's kind of accessible, right? Because it might not be the easiest thing for everyone to go to Magic Eden or whatever the equivalent is in 6 to 8 months to trade in-game assets. Uh, it's likely easier if there's infrastructure built into the game to make it easy for people to swap those between each other. So yeah, so that's one example. Likely revenue is going to be generated in many different ways, and it'll probably be comparable to a lot of other mobile games out there. There might be premium currencies, cosmetics, like Didi was saying. Um, Depending on how the crafting system, we have a few designs for the crafting system, but there's a chance to generate revenue in a few different ways in the crafting system. So the answer to that question is likely going to be complicated, and we have a bunch of ideas right now, but we'll have to see kind of as things develop what actually gets built out. So next question is, how would you define a successful Zulana public launch? So yeah, Didi and I were talking about this question beforehand. It depends on what we mean by public launch. It seems like the person is asking about public launch for the game itself. So what are our expectations for the game launch? Honestly, we're going to be rolling it out in phases. So we're going to have this, like the alpha tests that we're doing internally. We're going to have the closed beta tests that just go out to the core community members. We're going to have the open beta tests. Likely we'll implement some kind of referral program, maybe like an invite system or something like that. And then the game is going to kind of move on from there and build up towards an official public launch. But the game is going to be accessible for quite a long time before any kind of like announce of leaving beta. So if anyone is familiar with, there's many games out there, and even I think Solana mainnet, they call it beta for quite a long time before they announce that it's officially the public launch. And we see that with Solana. I mean, Solana has like Phantom alone almost has onboarded 1 million users. So I mean, it's totally feasible that the game is technically still in beta, but there's 1 million people playing it. So the public launch, I think we're going to kind of imagine it in a series of phases. how would you define a successful Zulana public launch? I think that kind of for each phase as we roll it out, we're accomplishing the goals that we set out to accomplish. So early on, we want to make sure that people are providing feedback on how to make the game fun and give us feedback on why they come back to play the game. We would implement that and then kind of move on. So I don't know. It's a lot of things, combination of marketing efforts as well. That's a long question. How would you define a successful public launch? The answer is in a number of ways and from a number of different fields, I guess. There's marketing, there's player satisfaction, there's revenue generation. Yeah, take a long time. You want to take the next one, Didi?
Yeah. This is the final question. How many Discord members do you think we should have for the game's public launch to be successful? I think this is a continuation from the previous question. Uh, this is again just one of the metric, but if I were to put a number on it, I would say 50K.
Mm-hmm.
50K or more. Yeah.
It seems like some of the other really popular games are like, they get to be around those numbers, above 50K in
Yeah,
the Discord.
exactly.
Okay, so let's look in the channel. Some of these questions aren't really for us. Okay, what are the next steps? What are you guys currently working on? That's a great question. 1 second. We are full speed ahead right now on the Alpha Edition launch. So that's us coordinating with our designers, with the artists, with the developers, with everyone who we kind of need to pull together on our team to make sure that the launch actually goes successful. So what are the next steps for the next 2 weeks? And what are we working on right now is making sure that the Alpha Edition gets into your guys' hands in a way that everyone's happy with and in a way that we can be proud of a few weeks and months from now. So we want it to be an awesome NFT. We want it to be a smooth launch experience. We want it to get into the people's hands who we know actually really want it. And those are our goals kind of for the next few weeks. So, Didi, do non-Zany animals exist?
Do non-Zany animals exist? If we're talking about weird creatures, I would want to say yes. If we're talking about humans, I can't comment on that.
I wonder if they're thinking like deer. In my vision of the Zoolana Valley, there are deer running around, yeah. Um,
Oh, like pure animals, like non-mutated animals? Yeah, for sure. There are gonna be animals to exist in Zulana.
um, yeah, exactly. It's a good source of protein in the Zoolana Valley, the native Zulana deer. Does the teaser NFT have any value beyond beta access post the alpha release? So, yeah, the teaser NFT is kind of a reward for early community members and was free from the jump. So the point of it was to give everyone a view into the world of Zulana and to kind of set the precedent for the standard that we're going to hold ourselves to. Nice. This is a good question, Booski. I don't know if we have an answer, but to set the standard that we expect you guys to hold us to when it comes for the art that we're putting forward. So utility was not the goal. I think anyone that was around here at the time, that was pretty clearly communicated in the Discord. But despite that, there are multiple sources of utility for the teaser edition. It is the raffle for the alpha, and it does give the beta access post-release. So does it have any value beyond beta access? That's not really for us to determine. You know, the market kind of determines that. Am I going to buy your teaser from you? Is that the question? I guess it depends on how cheap you're willing to sell it. It's it's like a commemorative and historic NFT, the first one that Zulana has ever launched. So, I would be a little surprised if it didn't have value going forward, especially as the game blows up. But we can't make any promises one way or another.
Yeah, Just think of it as like a historical collection value of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Kapuski,
let's talk about
yeah, go ahead.
Kabuski what?
Nothing. Maybe there's no need to address this. When mods are going to be free from slavery? That's it. I I'm not sure. It's hard to say. We'll clean your cage out for you, Kapuski. Maybe that be a little more comfortable. Uh, what are your expectations of the price of the NFT alpha after pre-sale and public sale? Who knows, dude? On the secondary market, we're hoping that the community sees the value in what we're doing. Um, but obviously, it's something we don't have a ton of control over. But it's a good
Yeah,
question. You know, it's one that everyone's going to have, but it's hard for us to answer.
because it's not like a PFP project that will then create a DAO and then do a bunch of things with the NFT itself. Right off the bat, we're giving it straightforward utilities like airdrops to in-game characters, story NFTs, in-game items like armor and weapons, exclusive skins, so on and so forth. So what will determine that value would be, I guess, how people view the game, how promising the game would be in people's minds. Yet again, that is speculation on the market's part, and we don't have, sort of a base metric to give sort of the expectations of the price after public sale.
Hmm.
Boomer is asking, I didn't hear what the mint price was for this drop. So basically, what will the mint price be? Following week, on the 6th or 7th of November, we will be releasing a full Medium article explaining and revealing mint date and price and then mint design. So just wait for it until we release that information. Everyone else that speculates on the price, that's just false.
Yeah, exactly. So keep your ears open. Nothing is set in stone quite yet. The design as we have it right now is that the we'll say the red supply, the red NFT is going to be more premium, and as such, the blue will be more accessible. And we have a few different creative ways to make it more accessible. Um, we really want the blue to be something that if you are in the community and you want to make sure you have access that the Alpha Edition provides, the blue is going to let you do that. So that's kind of what you can expect from the difference between the NFTs. The red is going to be more premium, a little more limited. We can't promise that every single person who wants one is going to get one. Although we will say we are providing pre-sale opportunities for the community in Discord. And if you're super dedicated to Zulana and you're checking the announcements, you're definitely going to have the chance to be in the pre-sale for
Yeah,
for Red.
we're not gonna blast this information outside of Discord. Like
Hmm.
we will not tell the public in Twitter or any way or any place else that we will be doing pre-sale. So this information is only for Discord members, and there is a barrier to entry. So that we are thinking of a quiz, and implementation is on its way. So just wait for it as well.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I know we're saying that as we broadcast this on Twitter, but as you guys can see, this space is not. We don't have 400 people in here, so I feel like the information is probably won't run too far. Um, so Boomer Millennial asks again, is my teaser NFT? It shows up in my wallet, but can't see it in Magic Eden. Oh, huh. Gold nor reclaimed tower number 37. Can't see the Magic Eden. I don't actually know why that would be an issue. Number 37 would have been minted during that Magic Eden mint, during the teaser edition mint on Magic Eden, so there shouldn't be any problems with it, as far as I know. I'm not sure when the last time you tried was. Maybe try again, I guess. I actually don't have the answer here. Has anyone else seen this issue? Maybe you could help Boomer Millennial in Discord.
Yeah. Maybe do a hard refresh or something, reconnect your wallet, these issues normally goes away that way.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just kind of a random thing. Uh, Didi, you want to take Candyman's question?
Yeah. Would there be a second cinematic teaser coming soon? Soon, if we're talking about soon, like a month later or 2 months later, it would not be coming. We do plan to have more gameplay videos instead of cinematic teaser, but cinematic teaser is in our backlog and it's something that we would do.
Yeah, I mean, once we have some soul in our wallets from this mint, expect to see like really seriously high quality um production value like game marketing assets. So all these things take time to develop and they have to strategically make sense for us to actually spend the money on. But we will definitely be releasing more CGI teaser trailers going forward, um, more serious lore drops, and lore videos in the future. On lore, actually, um, so for alpha holders, one of the first value adds that we have for alpha holders is a lore drop in November. So we'll release more details on that soon, but we have an awesome artist doing something really cool for us, and that's going to be an airdrop for all the Alpha Edition holders towards the end of the month. So that'll be exciting. Boomer Millennial is saying he didn't mint, I bought it secondary. Yeah, so what I'm just saying is that number 37, some of the NFTs were created in different places because we had pre-sale and then we had Magic Edens. Number 37 would have actually been created by Magic Eden, and so far those have had no problems. So don't worry too much about not being able to see it. Like try again in a few hours, maybe restart your PC or something. There shouldn't be any problems with that NFT. And if there still are, let us know and we'll look into it more. Didi, is there going to be a Zanny from the water?
I would imagine so. Yeah. Nothing is solidified. We do have 15 characters that we have in the list right now.
Yeah, nothing is solidified. I think one thing the world kind of comes first for us, and like, does it make sense? Is it ever that the Zooks flooded the Colosseum and had some like water bred Zannies? That's possible. That wouldn't be so crazy. Um, but it would have to make sense in the world. So maybe that'll be
Yeah.
the comic relief, a fish Zanny.
Will there be a custom Zook Zanny that resemble Brick Diddy and Coping? No, no. As of right now, no.
Every Zanny resembles me because I'm a beast. That's what I'll say.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, are we gonna have official merch? Um, we have never talked about that. I think merch would be really cool. I think it's inevitable as the game grows and kind of gets released. No plans for merch right now. We would love to, though. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What would you want to be on the merch, Kapuski? Just the logo? Would you want it to feature the concept art? I'm trying to think. Nor merch. Yeah, that'd be cool. What if it was like the LED shirts? Have you guys ever seen those?
LED shirts.
Have you
I
seen those
was
before?
actually so when we talk about merge at this space or even with traditional companies merge, we're talking about like hoodies, hats, t-shirts, maybe some shoes, some cups or something. I feel like that's kind of oversaturated in a sense whereby I would much rather do something cooler rather than just a cap. Like for example, we do have 3D models, right? So essentially, we could be making real life objects or maybe the sniper gun from Zulana and
Yeah,
sell that as a merch.
that would be awesome. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That'd be really sick. Yeah, action figures coming soon.
Yeah, action figures, especially action figures, because that's totally that's totally doable
Uh-huh.
since we do have the 3D assets.
Um, yes, that would be so sick. Someone has requested. What are they requesting? Oh, request to speak from Barn Dog. Yeah, Didi, we ready to shift into maybe taking some questions?
Maybe let's finish up what's next over the coming weeks. So, more Alpha Edition artwork releases. If you have been following our Twitter, it's day 2 of 5. Uh, I highly encourage you to read the story and then come and engage with us because you might win a random teaser edition NFT that way. It is to showcase the art as well as to engage with you guys. We would have more medium articles. In terms of the type of medium articles, we would be explaining more about gameplay, character explanation, plans explanation, things like that. We will also be revealing the airdrop's content. For example, we were talking about the 3D character base model, the weapon, the story NFT. We will be revealing how those look like over the coming weeks, as well as, of course, revealing the actual NFT
Yeah,
because
exact. Yeah,
the actual NFT is not going to be just that picture itself. Yeah, just a small leak for you.
yeah. So we're working with like a. Again, we use this term a lot, but that's because that's a standard we're actually going for, and the standard that we're actually hiring to. We have a AAA 3D artist building out the NFT, and it's going to be a cool little thing. It's going to resemble something that you could actually own in real life, which is pretty exciting for us. Um, okay, yeah, collab with the zoo souvenir store. Yes, let's do it. The Zulana Zoo. We're gonna open up a zoo.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, so that's the next few weeks. After the alpha launch, you can expect more drops for alpha holders. Official game development to get started, which we are so ready for, beyond ready for. Um, and yeah, just more updates on game development starting in Q1 of next year. That's when we'll also be seriously getting into actually dropping the in-game items and the in-game assets to people. So that's kind of the timeline that you can expect going forward. Um, yeah. Kabuski asks, where is Jason? Who's Jason? What is more plausible? Do you want to come into PC first or mobile first? Mobile is the goal right now. Once we get into game development, we'll see what's possible. Um, it could be never say never that something happens and Zulana has to pivot. Right now, mobile is really the goal and the focus, though. That's where Didi and I see the most potential, and that's what we're building for. The other guy, Kapuski asks, Jeff, the hell are you guys talking about?
Okay.
Oh, Jason. Oh, the developer. Yeah, there were some things that didn't work out with Jason. Um, he had some other things going on, and it wasn't going to work long term for us. But he was on the team for a bit of time. No bad blood. Okay. So Barn Dog, do you want to? I think you have to request to speak for us to actually give you the mic. Oh, invite to speak. All right, I'm clicking approve. Speaker.
Yep. Should be able to speak right now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just in the frame. Um, Good morning from my side, I guess, because it is very early in the morning. I'm on night shift. The teaser editions for your NFTs, if people get the Fire Obsidian NFTs, is there a set date for the snapshot for those for alpha?
No set date as of right now. We're going to be releasing more details over the next few days. We're kind of working with our developers to see what's possible. So just keep your eye on Discord. We'll definitely make an announcement. It won't be hidden information.
Yeah, it's more so if people want to go and purchase the Fire Obsidians now, the floor's around 4 to 6, depending on what you're looking at. There's obviously still time. And what are you going to do, like 48 hours before Alpha? And was that an Alpha Red or an Alpha Blue that they would get from purchasing the Fire Obsidian from the teaser?
Yeah, so all raffle winners, including the guaranteed allocations Fire Obsidian holders, is going to be red. So they're going to be getting the more premium red Alpha Edition. And yeah, we don't have a date set in stone yet for the raffle distribution. So it just can't make any commitments quite yet.
No, that's all right. That's good. It's just obviously I thought the teaser edition was quite successful. It was a good way of mobilising, and I like how you guys did the link up with Kaiju. Is there going to be any cross utilisation between Kaiju and Zulana then? Are you guys putting in characters that are going to go dungeon crawling through their game, and vice versa?
That would be awesome. That would be incredible. I think
I've talked to Mike briefly on that. Nothing is solidified yet, but both of us are excited about each other's games, and we are open to such collaborations moving forward.
Yeah, it's something that I love discussing with different games. It's super awesome. Like, I don't see the PFP side of it as successful as if you get two games together and they're launching, that they're helping each other's communities. The questionnaire from you guys or from Kaiju was quite amazing. How did your team feel that went? So it was 100 teasers went to Kaiju. Did you see the people come across and that spiked your numbers in Discord?
Yeah, actually, like quite a few people, and quite a few people came over to our Discord and stayed. Actually, one of our mods is actually one of the top members from Kaiju, and that's how he found us.
Yeah, cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I did look at the questionnaire. It wasn't a simple questionnaire. You had to go and study the content for it, so it was really exciting to see.
Yeah, exactly. Moving forward, of course, we would love to do such things with other projects, but timeline, the accessibility of it, we gotta make sure we take care of our own community members and not just focus on hypergrowth. You know.
So with the red and the blue NFTs when they come out, is there going to be a big disparity in prices? Obviously, the market's pretty saturated at the moment, tired a little bit, you would say. You guys would obviously be monitoring other projects. It was interesting to see Project Alone not selling out. They would have only sold, 400 out of 7,000. So that was...
Yeah, that was crazy to me. Like, I would expect them to sell out almost immediately.
I know. Yeah, completely agree. I see it as almost criminal, and how good the team is, the production they've got. It's not a game that's only just been proposed. It's a game that's years in production as well, and could potentially be our first AAA in Solana. So how does that make you guys a little bit nervous? Does it make you throw all your numbers back around again and spend many more hours at the table?
We did bring it back to the operating table. So, but yeah, that's why nothing is solidified yet, even as of this moment. Like, we do have the whole plan mapped out inside our documents, but we're not quite ready to share yet because we're still monitoring how the market is.
Yeah, one thing that's really big for DD&I is like going into Discord and going into the communities of these projects as they're minting and just like listening to what people have to say and listening to their feedback. One thing that it seemed like for us that people were really kind of disappointed about from the Elune launch was the art on the NFT itself wasn't that compelling to some people. So we're kind of hoping also that we avoid that issue with our launch because the art is not only is each piece compelling, we also have multiple pieces. Elune kind of just had like one base illustration and maybe some very minor changes to it. So we're hoping that actually, plays in our favor and makes our mint go a little more smoothly.
Yeah, exactly. We were like cracking our brains, like wondering why Ilium didn't sell out. And we went into because we were both Monkey DAO members. We were asking people like, why are you not minting Project Ilium? And one of the more compelling reasons was, all of them looked the same to them, and maybe art is also part of the equation, and that's what made us go back and think more about how we would design our NFT by itself to make it look make it look to have make it out to look to have more variations instead of just minor changes by itself.
Hmm.
That's an interesting point. I'd never really thought about the artwork, but to me, it was a different release as well because they're releasing Land, which will later be used in the game for the variety of different games and launches and things they do. So it was kind of a flip around on most other NFT launches where they release characters first, and then Land becomes a secondary sale later in the game.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Yeah, land as like it's interesting because land as an in-game asset is like really hard to see in your mind's eye, right? It's almost hard to imagine the value kind of. Neo Nexus has done a phenomenal job that actually like of releasing land technically, but they're almost characters unto themselves with their residential buildings and I'm not sure actually how many types of buildings they've released at this point, but they're all fairly unique NFTs. And your piece has some character unto itself. Like, oh, I've got these interesting shutters. I like these lights in this location. It's definitely more unique what they're doing than something like, okay, you own 12 by 12 plot. You own 24 by 24. Um, and that collectability just seems it's interesting. Why are people in the NFT space and why are people buying NFTs? The reasons are really varied, and some of them are very deep, and some of them are not. One of those reasons is it's fun to collect things, and appealing to the people that like to collect is just a really powerful and strong thing that you can do as a project.
100%. Going back to teasers, so obviously the question was asked, what utility is going to happen once the launches of the alpha is done? Star Atlas did an interesting one where they teased initially at the start that the posters people bought would have potential drops down the track, and that kind of would add some kind of saleability. Has the team thought about that? You've only released 3,000 teaser posters, then potentially doing a drop down the track for people that hold and keep those collectibles.
As of right now, we do not have such plans, but we are listening to our community, and we have been taking notes on what they're saying as well as researching on what other projects did for their early supporters. So I'm not gonna say that's totally out of the question, but I'm not gonna make any commitments as of right now.
Yeah, it's hard to for us really what we're trying to do is for the alpha edition holders, it's like kind of a special thing that they're paying for these NFTs. And so that relationship is kind of a different one than for the teaser edition holders who, some people, if you chose to bought off secondary, that was your choice. But the idea was that these would be free NFTs for people to mint if they were aware about what the project was doing. So, um, yeah, our first priority is really making sure that when it comes to releasing extra content, that alpha holders feel taken care of. I think Didi and it appealed the idea of delivering more content to teaser edition holders down the line. I think the idea appeals to us. But again, the teaser edition holders really can't be our first priority when alpha edition exists. So.
I like that. That's a good answer. No, super impressive. And then, have you thought then for the release date comes if the sales are slow? they're not pumping along. A lot of projects are now burning, which is kind of an interesting process. You're reducing the numbers of players coming into the game. But have you thought, is there a set period of time that you need to be sold out by, or percentages, or what happens there?
Yeah, so we've played around with that in our heads. Um, we're aware that it's a possibility, and in this climate, it's not even that unlikely. So, yeah, everything is kind of on the table for us right now. It really depends. The way we're doing it is kind of a unique. There's a lot of unique things about the launch as we have it planned that people aren't necessarily privy to, and it could kind of change how we think about things. So, yeah, if the red, like hypothetically, the red launch only sells out half within the first few days or something like that, would burning be on the table? Um, yeah, it could be. It's something we've thought about and something we've discussed, but it's kind of a game day decision because we also have the blue launch that comes right after it. Like, there's a lot of moving pieces, I guess. That's not a very satisfying answer, but it is something we've thought about, and uh, it's one of the tools on the table.
That's cool. That's all I've got for now. DD and I have been chatting. We're looking at getting some kind of an AMA lined up for Grape. It's just been very hard for me with work. I obviously work a full-time job, so just trying to make sure I've got a good stage presence to be able to do it. So we look forward to having you there at Grape. And I mean, as a gamer myself, it does appeal to me for the phone game. It's probably one of the more interesting prospects I've seen come for mobile play. And the problem being, of course, is the game hasn't been started. So the concept is good. I love the build up from the community that you guys have been doing, and even the linking up with other community games. But we're all excited to sort of see what's happening.
Yeah, we're excited too. And I took a look at your YouTube videos, and the videos earlier, you play Clash of Clans a lot, huh? In the past.
Yeah, I actually did have a competition at one stage, 25 versus 25. I played and I beat the other team. I was obviously all 25 characters.
Very nice. Very nice. I would I would say right now that if you do enjoy Clash of Clans or any sort of RTS games, you're definitely gonna love ours. That's what I would say. Because the basis of creating the game itself is, I'm a big RTS player myself. Like I was ranked number one for like 6 to 9 weeks in War and Order. And kind of the things of the games, what makes it fun by itself is kind of the social dynamics of it. I think what Clash of Clans didn't really monetize on it was the social dynamics of the clans. You claim it to be Clash of Clans, but how much time are you actually spending with clans inside the game itself?
It depends, I guess, on the gamers. So, for example, I ran an Australian league, and we had around 35 to 40 clans within our conglomerate. I did a live event in Sydney, I did a live event in Melbourne, and flew from Perth both times. So, I would say my community was pretty shit hot. We loved it. We did.
Hmm.
We printed T-shirts for one event. We printed stubby holders for another, and yeah, that side of it was good. And I was in it just before the league started. I did YouTube videos for them as well, and I would do live meets in Perth all the time. So to me, gaming, and this is what I'm trying to put across to people, is that the PFP flipping of NFT projects is problematic towards the gaming side of it now. We're seeing people buying up mass bulk numbers and then flipping and trying to drive the floor underneath the mint prices, and it's not good. Like as a gamer, you want to open that packet of cards, and that's an NFT, and have a potential chance to get a rare or different abilities. But should they have completely different rarities and that? I don't know. It's a bit weird. For me, I love my Clash of Clans years. I did it for over 4 years, and got pretty heavy into it. So like it was cool, and that's what I obviously having that history with Clash, and Zulana has talked about being a Clash style. You only have to look at through you've got to build your army, and every time you do a battle, then you expend that army. Obviously, your heroes carry over, which are your Zanis. But it's definitely got that link up, and you guys have talked about that heavily in your Medium articles about it being similar, taking the good and trying to improve on the bad.
Yeah, most definitely. So when I was talking about the social dynamics of it, in terms of gameplay itself, I was a Clash of Clans player back in, I would say, what's that, 2016, 2015, 2016. I don't remember being able to go into battle with another clanmate, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm thinking of the
Like you go to
years.
battles alone.
Yeah, the spectators came in and around 2016, so you could spectate a battle, and that would usually have a delay as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're only playing and your clanmates will be spectating. So in War and Order, it's different. You attack together.
Oh, completely. And that, I mean, you would hope to have that kind of gameplay action changes. Most games, any game that's got a teammanship to it, and that's where a lot of these big discords and games that are coming to Solana are successful, are being built on having team spirited games.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how Aurora is going to go because you have three Zs, so I think that's just a one-on-one, is my understanding. But look at your Cryo War will likely be a team spirited game. Most of the top 10 I put in my list would be team games. And you want that. You do want the teammanship. You want to meet people. You want to get immersed in games. But also for you guys, so you're going to be able to load up. Was that 3 minute raids? Was that Zulana?
3 minute
I'm
raids.
trying to think of whether that was a similarity. It might have been a different game. Oh no, sorry, it is early for me. That is Cryo War. They aim on being you can load up on your phone and do a 3 minute raid, and then log out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a similarity to Clash.
Yeah, I've not looked into Cryo War yet.
Um, yeah, they're going to be very big. Look at your BitSpawn link up to how that's going to work as well for those guys. They're a 3 year producing game. They produced for 2 years
Mm-hmm.
before they swapped over at the beginning of the year to get onto Solana, and then just changed. They were going to release as a normal production game, and then changed over to Solana and hit the blockchain. So that'll likely be our first game. I think they were meant to be releasing in October, but
The
different style game.
October, like next year, October.
No, they were meant to release last month. They've got playable gameplay that's ready now.
Oh,
That will.
like the game is live right now
It
for them,
it should be.
Cryo
Yeah,
War.
it should be. It not live as in you can't log in, but it's got. I would expect the devs. I've got them AMAing them at rate this month. Again, relying on
Mm-hmm.
dates for me. With your
Interesting.
with your clans, you're going to have your monthly clan challenges, and then you're going to have your bi-monthly. Is that going to be just those two actions? Sorry, so on your second monthly, you open up the borders, all three independent Zani tribes. Are you going to have a clan and inter-clan battles in that same month? Is that going to make it like 8 days of that month being battles constantly, or are you going to separate the two?
We are planning to separate the two. If not, it's gonna get too hectic for the players themselves. So, for example, when inter-clan war happens, tribe wars will not happen. So when tribe wars are on, clans will so-called unite against each other. Not each other. With each other, and then go to other clan territories, and then just fuck them up.
Yeah, I like it, and it does the political intrigue to that. You can think about it too, because during 1 month you're going to be fighting each other, and then the next month you're going to want to team up to fight the other clans, or you could be overtaken and then not get the benefits for the next 2 months. It's an interesting concept. It is cool to see, and similar to a Star Atlas where there's three factions, that is good as well, rather than just having a two faction like your World of Warcraft. Two factions doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. And players do have to find the balance themselves in terms of how much they want to attack during the clan war, to build up in order to prepare for the tribe war that's upcoming. So it's totally up to them. That's why it's very community driven. It's very social dynamic focused. In that way, people need to communicate with each other. Clan leaders of all clans need to come together to have a plan, in order to win the bigger part of the picture, which is the tribe war.
Yeah, super exciting. I will turn my mic off. I appreciate the time on the floor and wish you guys good luck, and we'll hopefully see you great sometime in the next couple of weeks. Well, hopefully in the next
Okay.
next week if I can.
All right, for sure. Just hit me up.
Awesome. Thank you, Barn Dog.
Anybody else want to come up? No? Okay. We're just gonna wrap this up. Thank you to everyone who came in, asked your questions. I think this is recorded by Coping, if I'm not wrong. Right, Coping?
I saw him say the same thing. I don't know
Okay.
if you send us an emoji.
Mhm. If it is recording, then we will just post it somewhere, maybe in our Discord or something.
Yeah, let's do that. And then we can tell people on Twitter that we've posted it. Awesome. All right, guys. Yeah, last chance. Any other questions? Make sure there's no more in the chat. All right. Thank you guys for being here. I hope we all got a little more info out of this. Didi and I are super excited for the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really big. And yeah, keep your eye out for the actual NFT design. We'll be dropping that pretty soon here. All right. Thank you guys.